Hello everyone, this is Michael J. Steele. I'm running for United States Senate in North Dakota in 2022 against John Hoeven, the incumbent. I have a proposal today that I've been thinking about. I'm just kind of kicking it around. It's basically a lot of people, refugees, have come to this country for years, even when I was a child. And they make a lot of money here and then they send money back home overseas to their families. But I think we should make a law where they can no longer do that, where the money, that if they come here to work and contribute to America, the money has to stay here to support our taxes and infrastructure and problems right here in America. And I also think that, they can still bring their families here, which is a good idea. But it's just so many times people come here and they send their money back to these countries that they've either exiled from or they're refugees, and then they usually go back. I got a gentleman I know right now, he's going to be here 8 years. He's making pretty good money. He's been sending all his money back to Africa, but what he's going to do is he's going to move back to Africa and not come back here. So he's kind of coming here, working, and sending his money back to Africa, staying here, and then he's going to go back to Africa and open up a business there. Well, I think it's kind of unfair for us here in America to get exploited, where we should be able to have people that want to come here, become Americans like our grandfathers did, grandmothers, the founding fathers of the country wanted people to come here for religious freedom, just basically freedom and a new way of life. A lot of these people are coming here now just to make a living here and then support other countries. Well, they should come to America and actually contribute to America by keeping the money here, bringing their families here, or just not sending the money back overseas. There should be a way that we could have a law to where we can make sure that the money that they're taking from America is not taken out of America indefinitely and sent, to foreign countries. Also, I got some good news on the brighter side. Is I'll be on the radio channel 95.9 Real Radio here on July 17th, 2019, next month, from 3 to 5. I believe it's a call-in show. You'll be able to call in. You'll be able to talk to me. I'll be getting interviewed, so I hope that everybody out there that's listening right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the other social media sites, have an opportunity to hear some of my ideas, some of my proposals for my state of North Dakota, and also for the rest of the country, and but that's one of my newest proposals. I've got a lot of proposals. If you just check me out, Google Michael J. Steele for Senate 2022, and there's a bunch of websites where you can donate. I will need your donations. I have a long way to go, and the time's starting to run down. I got about 2 years to get on a tour. I'm going to go on a complete tour of North Dakota. I need a tour bus. I have to pay a bus driver. I have to hire a phone staff. I have to hire some staff to make up some more literature. And that stuff's not cheap, it gets expensive. And like I said before, I really need all the Democrats here to help me turn North Dakota blue in 2022 by voting for Michael J. Steele for United States Senate. And I want all my brothers and sisters that are Democrats throughout the country, and those that support me, even Republicans, to donate to my campaign. That'll help me get my message out. Maybe I'll have a nice suit, new clean suit when I serve you in Washington, D.C. I'll have to buy some nice suits, so I look good on C-SPAN when I'm debating all these other fellow senators, and I'll have to look respectable as I can, and dignified. you know. But I'll need that too. Some new suits, a staff, tour bus. I have to get some airtime on television. You know, I'm sure there's going to be some more attack ads. I've been under attack, a barrage of attacks here the last couple months by the Republicans that are against me here in North Dakota. It's just awful. They've been trolling my Facebook page recently, and I don't appreciate it. I don't go to any of their Facebook pages or anybody's and troll them and insult them and belittle them, and I just try to put out some fake propaganda. You know, they're just really doing their darndest to upset me right now, but it's not working. You know, because I'm beating them with diplomacy. You know, but it's sad when someone that you went to high school with that's now a Republican leader attacks you and defends a president that's a whoremonger, has had 8 abortions, who's decided to destroy the country right now. He's trying to basically do what Hitler did. He's consolidating power. There's 19 offices right now that are open in his staff that he's not even attempting to fill, you know. And if by some bad luck that he gets elected here in 2020, I will be there in 2022 to defend the Constitution, to defend the programs that people work their whole lives for, you know, to receive their Social Security benefits, which help our elderly and our disabled, our veterans, also to make sure that they're taken care of. Our farmers right now will need a lot of good deals made because of Trump's disaster with his tariffs, that he's decided to hurt our country and help Russia. Basically, Russia right now is taking up our part and selling soybeans now to China, which North Dakota, my state, used to sell all the soybeans to. You know, and right now it's hurting these tariffs are hurting our automobile manufacturers throughout the country right now, and because nobody wants to buy these cars overseas. They're a little upset with these tariffs, and the tariffs are hurting us right now also. We're paying more in taxes and we're getting less on our tax returns. And then I hear the argument every day, you know, the stock market's doing so wonderful under this Republican leadership. It's doing really good because he gave the billionaires and the multimillionaires these huge tax breaks so they could buy back all their stock from the poor people. And that's basically what they're doing. They're trying to weed out the little fish in the market, and the big fish are going to eat them up. And while we got all this movement and action in the stock market, it looks pretty good. However, there was in the last couple of weeks, the stock market 2 weeks ago went down 125,000 points, but that seems to be coming back. But it's opportunity for the elite, and it's also, once again, more problems and hardship for the working Americans that need the tax breaks to support their children, you know. And also, I'm a little upset with this administration. The gas has gone up now because they killed the Iranian deal. And Trump, first thing he did was get rid of Obama's executive order. Obama had a plan to buy cheap Iranian oil for the next 30 years, which would keep our gas, he said, under $2 a gallon in the United States. First thing Trump did, executive order, wiped out that program. He took us out of the Paris Green Accord, which was going to help a lot of our businesses here in North Dakota to sell their products overseas, and also America, their green products. And I think we should get back with the Paris Green Accord, where we can start going green. We were going in the right direction. Now all this deregulation that Trump's doing is just ridiculous. I'm pro regulators because we've had EPA. He's really attacking the EPA right now. He's opening up our national parks right now to hunters, where they can go in all of our national parks and hunt. He's allowed elephant bones and ivory now to be sold in the United States again. He's doing everything that I guess the good old boys did back in the 40s and 50s in the 1840s and 50s, that is. He's trying to take us back 150 years in this country right now, and I think we got to start standing up. I'm going to defend the Constitution. I'm going to defend our American way of life. I'm going to defend our farmers, our disabled, our handicapped, our poor, our poor people that are living on housing assistance, food stamps. You know, I think people deserve a raise that are on food stamps. The price of groceries has gone up under this Trump administration exponentially in the last, year and a half, 2 years that he's been in there. Well, he'll be gone in a year and a half, so 2.5 years that Trump's been in there. And but the food stamps, that people are getting, people I talk to, they run out of their food stamps on the 11th or 12th of the month. Sometimes, if they want to lose weight, they'll run out of food on about the 14th of the month. So they got to go about 2 weeks, these families, without food, because the food stamps, they don't give them a raise. Nobody gets a raise on food stamps, but the price of food goes up. So there is inflation. I don't care what anybody says. There's inflation on food. There's inflation we pay on gas. There's inflation we pay on everything we buy. There's inflation, And they always say that you can't count food as inflation, with inflation. Yes, you can. But once again, I'd like to thank you for listening today, and I do appreciate it. And I just hope you all tune in July 17th to hear me live. I'm going on the air on 95.9 radio here, Real Radio, Fargo Real Radio. And if you want to call in, I'd rather take questions. I go on the air, I talk. It's real nice to answer questions because I can answer the specific questions you ask me as a candidate and a representative of North Dakota as being your next senator in 2022 against the incumbent John Hoeven, who made a lot of promises and broke a lot of promises. He was going to get tough on crime. He never got tough on crime. He was going to be make maximum sentencing for first offenders in North Dakota. I didn't like that idea, but he did. The crime has ran amok since he left in this state. There's people, for some reason, they need some of the leadership here needs to be monitored a little better. It needs a little help. People don't know which way to go anymore. They're just lost. And we have to bring them back on track to where they're not so lost anymore, our leaders in North Dakota. And, we've had one party way too long in North Dakota. We've had the Republican Party's been running this. Last time we had any Democrats in power was LBJ. They voted for him, and he made it in North Dakota as a Democrat, Lyndon Baines Johnson. The bigger cities in North Dakota always vote usually Democrat. Obama won by 9 percentage points in North Dakota and also by about 12 percentage points in Grand Forks. But I got to get the western part of the state on board. If you like the leadership of Earl Pomeroy, if you like the leadership of Byron Dorgan, if you like the leadership of Kent Conrad, all the great things they did for North Dakota, you're going to want to put some Democrats back in power, and I'm one of them you can put back in power as your next United States Senator in 2022. I will fight for North Dakota. I'm going to go on a tour for 2 months around North Dakota. I'm going to talk to the farmers. I'm going to see where they're hurting, what their complaints are, and I want to stop the suicides in North Dakota. A lot of the farmers throughout North Dakota and America are committing suicide after this horrible debacle of this Trump plan of destroying America from the inside out, with not only this Chinese tariff, but this collusion with the Russians. I don't care what he says. I was warned by leaders, very brilliant men, 40 years ago that there'll become a time in America where we will get invaded from the inside out from the Russians, and they would love to come in here and destroy our country, and they're doing their damnedest. And our president has taken the side of those communists over our Constitution. I will fight and fight and fight for our people and our Constitution. I will do what Jesus would do. I'll do the right thing. I'll be more of a help for this economy in North Dakota and the people here that deserve it. We got people that are still homeless. blue in this winter, 1,800 people were denied residency in our shelter, Churches United, which serves Fargo-Moorhead. All our other homeless shelters were full. We need to get on the ball right now with some block grants and some federal funding that I will get for the homeless, our homeless brothers and sisters, and there will be, every Native American will have the right to vote in North Dakota, unlike it has been under the Republican leadership the last 100 years. The students in North Dakota will also have the right to vote who've been denied by this Al Jaeger, who was destroying this North Dakota for years by not letting our intelligent students vote. These students come here, they come here for 4, 8, 12 years. They live in our dorms, they're contributing to our NDSU and our other colleges and universities throughout North Dakota. They're paying taxes. You know, you only have to be a resident for 30 days in North Dakota to be able to vote. These students will be here for years and years contributing to our economy. They deserve the right to vote, and this is something that the Republicans do not want them to have, is the right to vote. And I will make sure that I'll go there personally and make them, with the National Guard, I will bring in at every voting poll throughout North Dakota to make sure our Native American brothers and sisters and our students get the right to vote. Another thing that I'm angry about, I've been so angry with what's going on right now throughout our state of North Dakota, it would just make your head spin. I've been really paying attention, and it's just getting people involved. You've had one party that has controlled this system here for so long. They get so upset when you call them on it or when you challenge them. They try to gonk you in the head like a gopher in them games, them gopher games. I've been getting gonked in the head here for the last 6 months. I'm running by these people here because they've had it their way, these Republicans, for so long. They're so spoiled. They cannot look you in the eye and take criticism that's constructive, because it's got to be their way or the highway. We have 22 Democrats fighting their butts off every day in the legislature here in North Dakota, and that's a real small margin of people out of 680,000 North Dakotans. We have 22 representing the Democratic Party. We have like 0.0001% of libertarians right now in this country, in this state here in North Dakota, that are trying to help out. I mean, the playing field is not level. We need to equalize the playing field where people will have the opportunity to have their say-so, instead of just sitting there and placating and having to kiss up to the leadership here in North Dakota. When I become a senator, there's going to be oversight, and we're not going to have no more of this kiss up, everything sugar-coated, nicey. We're gonna give you a kiss, and then we're going to really bend you over. You know, that's not going to happen anymore here when I become the next senator of North Dakota. Because I'm angry. You can call me the angry guy. I'm very angry. But thank you for tuning in. Once again, I am Michael J. Steele. I need your donations to continue to fight every day for North Dakota, to fight for our safety nets. I have to fight for the people that depend on their housing, that depend on their food stamps, that depend on their Social Security checks. Also, the people that are providing these assistance, like Cass County Social Services, have to have jobs to support these people. If Bush and the Republicans eliminate these programs, all their friends aren't going to have jobs anymore now, are they? Just like if you didn't have any more fires, you wouldn't need any more firemen. If you didn't have no crime, you wouldn't need any police. So, but we do have a homeless problem, and we do have an unfairness problem here, and we're working on it. We're making strides, but we still got a long way to go here in North Dakota, and I'm going to fight every day to get the farmers back on track to where they can start not having suicides anymore. There's suicides throughout the whole country with the farming community. It's just terrible, and I'm tired of hearing about that too. It's a tragedy in America, and a lot of farmers are losing their family farms. You know, we're going to wind up having to have another farm aid like we did in 1985. You know, I was around to see that, but right now it's just the big corporate farmers are just eating up the little guys, but it's getting where even the corporate farmers are having a hard time right now, and they can't sell their products. So I'm going to create opportunities. I'm going to make in-routes and inroads throughout the country, throughout the world, so that our farmers, not only in North Dakota, but throughout the country, can sell their products and their goods to other countries that other than China. If China don't want to deal with this, you know, they're buying from the Russians and Brazil right now. They've pretty much dumped us. So we're going to have to make inroads to Germany, maybe. We'll have to sell a lot of stuff to Germany's good. Italy has been a real good trading partner. You know, Steiger Tractor here. We're going to have to help Fiat owns not Steiger, Case Tractor. We're going to have to make some inroads to sell some more tractors. And we're going to have to go to some more developing nations and help them out. But like I say, once again, my proposal is we have to stop the money from leaving America. It has to stay here. And another thing that everybody's forgotten, there's 22,000 businesses in the Cayman Islands that are not paying United States tax, such as Amazon did not pay. 280 billion in business, they don't pay any taxes. It all goes to the Cayman Islands. You know, they're robbing our country blind right before our eyes. People shouldn't be starving here. There shouldn't be people living under bridges in Arkansas. There shouldn't be anybody hungry right now, you know. And then you got a lot of people that are so scared right now in this country, they're killing their own children. They've been killing their own children, mothers, because they don't think that they can raise them. They've just given up. They haven't been able to go to church anymore. They just better start going to church. You know, we have to reach these people, and these tragedies that are happening right now, we can stop them, and we have to do that. And I will be part of that once you help me to help you by electing me. You know, I wouldn't ask for a dime of donations if I could just make sure I got your vote, but I got to get out and reach everybody. I can't just sit here and stay in North Dakota sitting on the phone here. I have to get out and do things. I have to travel throughout the state. I have to find out what's really going on out there in North Dakota. And when I become senator, I'm going to have a lot more opportunities to examine things that are working in certain states and that aren't working in other states, where we can implement ideas that'll work right here in North Dakota, because that's really who I'll be working for, who I'll be serving, is my state of North Dakota when I become your next senator in 2022. This is Michael J. Steele. I'm going to be signing off here, but remember, once again, come join me July 17th, 2019, 95.9 Radio Fargo, Free Radio Fargo. Kind of reminds me of Radio Free America. It's Radio Free Fargo here, and we'll be able to see it's KFRR, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I just got the call today that I'm going to be going on the show, so I do appreciate it. And thank you once again, and please dig deep and donate to my campaign right now, because there's so many people that I have to reach in North Dakota that I want to reach, but it costs money to get on a tour bus, to travel, to get gas. You know, you got to eat on the road. You got to feed your staff. You know, I'm going to be bringing the staff with me. I need to get my phone banks up. And I'm fighting against an incumbent that has $1.6 million in his war chest right now. And he's got big oil backing him, John Hoven. He's big oil's man. He's big bankers man. He's been a banking family and a banking cartel all his life. You know, and like I said before, him and the governor, they stand in front of a cornfield. They do photo ops. You know, I don't think John Hoven's ever had a shovel in his hand in his life. He's might have had a pencil or a pen, you know, at a bank and a lot of money in his hand, but I don't know what he's doing in front of a big cornfield taking photo ops. I won't be doing that. If I'm in front of a cornfield, I'll be working at it or hoeing beets or driving a tractor myself. So, but I'd like to thank you once again. I know a lot of people out there love John Hoeven, but you got to really look and see what he's really doing for North Dakota. He's made a lot of mistakes, and he's padded in his pocket, and he's getting a lot wealthier. And he's really, really butting up with Trump, eating them good old hamburgers in the White House with the NDSU bison. They were so proud to have McDonald's go all the way to Washington, D.C. with the governor and have them good old McDonald's hamburgers, So I'd like to be like Trump's actual staff, They had $2 million worth of lobster tails they got to eat. That was their bill last year, $2 million on just eating lobster for his immediate staff. What little bit is left that hasn't quit or resigned or walked off the job or gotten fired. Now he's going to basically go after any pollsters, he said, that are giving him a bad rating in the polls. When they do polls, they got Joe Biden winning by double digits. I have a plan. We should have Biden and Bernie 2020 or Bernie Biden 2020. Those two would be the perfect combination right now to beat Trump in this 2020 election. You got 100 years of experience right there, or better, 120 years worth of experience from them two gentlemen there, and they would be far greater for America than what Trump's doing right now with his Hitler tactics. Every time we turn around, he's doing something right out of Mein Kampf, right out of Hitler's book, and it's just, he's got, now we got the race riots, we got the Klan picking up, we got everything, all this hatred and everything, in the country, which needs to stop. We need to unify the country. The Democrats, Republicans need to unify this country. United we stand, divided we fall. And this country right now is getting more and more divided every day by the Republicans because they don't want to work with the Democrats in the Senate. Senate right now and the House have over 400 bills sitting there ready to pass, and the Republicans don't even want to look at it. They don't want to pass that, and they sit there and they poo-paw everything, but at least we got the House back. We got to get the Senate. And once we get the Senate and the White House, we will be making America truly smart again, great again, But Hitler, that's what he said, let's make Germany great again. That's Trump's motto, But some people say, was America really that great? They used to have people were getting lynched in this country. There was slavery. There was child labor here. There's a lot of orphanages here. There still are. You got all these pedophile priests right now in this country. So really, how great he wants to go back in time. I don't think it was that great back in time in America. America's getting better and better because we have cell phones. We have communication technology where a lot of people aren't afraid to speak out now. They're willing to share their feelings and talk and expose this corruption with these cell phones, and we gotta get these law enforcement inside with some counseling where they don't kill and keep killing these people that they've been killing. A lot of the law enforcement officers aren't wounded. They tell us we gotta wound them. The Constitution says you gotta wound somebody, don't kill them. This is really what the Constitution says. We gotta wound them, and we gotta get them medical attention right away, and try to bring them comfort and save their life after we've wounded them from trying to harm us. These police, they're basically, a lot of them are going around and shooting to kill the people, and we gotta stop that too. We gotta find out what's going on with law enforcement, And why did Social Security go out and buy 20 million bullets right now and handguns? They're training their whole staffs to carry handguns and carry bullets around. What's up with that? Something's going on, people. Wake up. But when I'm your senator, I can get in there and I can find out what's going on, and I'll relay it to the people. Just like Bernie Sanders has been doing. He's relaying a lot of stuff to the people right now for the last 40 years, and he's a really good watchdog for the American people. He has a lot of experience, you know. Joe Biden has a lot of integrity. I mean, the guy, if anybody's strong, Joe's strong. He's stronger now at 75 than he was when he was 65, you know, and all the tragedies that he's overcome, and he's still here working, dedicated for Americans, you know, is just unbelievable. Bernie, same way, he's dedicated. They want to give, I'm for free education. I'm for free wiping out my debts, my loans, you know, my school loans. You know, I owe this country a lot right now. I've been blessed, and I want my opportunity to pay back America by serving as your senator. And once I get elected, I can pay back America and also help America and straighten out some of this corruption and this crap that's going on that we're all so well aware of, you know. And I'm not a career politician. I'm not coming in there like the rest of the career politicians, but I do have experience in running campaigns, and I have a political science degree. I have some degrees, and I'm going to college now. I have the experience. You know, I'm going to be 53 years old when I get elected senator. You know, I'm not no 28-year-old young kid. Dorgan, when he got elected as senator, I believe he was 28 years old. You know, Obama, you know, when he was a senator, you know, he was a little older than that. You know, Kennedy was 33, I think, when he was in a senator, you know. I'm going to be going in there when I get elected 53 years old. You don't think I have experience with people? I've been at the top, I've been at the bottom, I've been with the rich, I've been with the poor. You know, I know what people need, and I know what people need to survive. I've learned a lot of survival skills. I know I have ideas to help people survive, and also we have this opioid crisis that's killing people, and there's a big thing about these doctors that were arrested that were, that's more corruption for the almighty dollar, you know, and we just got to get rid of this corruption that's festering in America and destroying our country. You know, it's great that people are working hard, but we don't want people to live paycheck to paycheck the way they're living every day. If you work hard in America, you should be able to own a home. You should be able to help your children get through college, and you should have a nice retirement set up for you when you retire. Well, now that we got all these billionaire greedy bastards hauling all this money to the top right now, and they're not spreading the wealth, they're stealing it, because when the shit hits the fan, they go live in another country, and that's what they'll do. They'll go live in wherever they go. You know, if it gets bad enough here, they can pack up and move somewhere and start the whole plantation all over again, and that's what they'd love to do, and they don't care. Their job in life is to protect their money, you know. And we, the people, have to rise up, stand up for our rights, and don't be afraid to offend anybody. That's another problem with America. Everybody's afraid to offend somebody. I'm not afraid to offend anyone. If they're offending me, I have the right to offend them back, and you have the right to stand up for yourself and let your voices be heard and let your voices be counted. And we, as the American people, have to weed out these people that are taking advantage of our vulnerable people. We have to weed out these rude, unhappy people that are working with our children or working with the public. If they can't get along with the public, they should not be working with the public. They should be working in a furniture factory in a back room somewhere, making furniture or doing something away from people. You know, and if you don't like kids, you shouldn't be a school teacher. You know, if you don't like people, you shouldn't be a doctor. You shouldn't be taking care or being a nurse. You gotta love people and like people, and that's it. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about in America. You know, bring back the love, and we gotta unify people. It ain't gonna be no more Democrat, Republican, this, that. It's gotta be we as American people, or the rest of the world is gonna just trample all over us, and that's what they're starting to do. And we have to protect our environment also. Our environment, with Trump's deregulation right now, he's just polluting the whole country right now. We're being polluted like you wouldn't believe right now. Everything, the EPA, he puts his people in power. He's got his guys in there, the head of the EPA. He's got his people ahead of the FDA. He's got the courts rigged. He's got 19 positions, like I said, not filled. He's consolidating power, and that's what Adolf Hitler did, the same damn thing. Now he's talking about he wants 2 more terms after he wins the next election. He's saying 2 more terms. So he's saying 4 years of terms right now. And that's, that's what we had during FDR's time. But FDR did a lot good for this country. He was a Democrat, and he helped us with a lot of social programs. He had the WPA program. He put people to work during the Depression. He helped bring people out of the Depression. Harry Truman was there to bring us out, and we won. We're the victors of the World War II, But the people had a brief moment in time where, the victors reaped the rewards of war. And nobody really wins with war, but there was a time in America where everybody worked. You had Rosie the Riveter. She was riveting work, and everybody worked to support the war cause. Everybody stuck together to defend this country, Now that's when America was great, when everybody was working together. Now everybody's so separated and so against each other, and it's just ridiculous. The egoism, there's so much egoism in the world. We have to get rid of the egoism and our leaders need to start bestowing their love for us, for electing them and for looking up to them, and for, instead of taking from us and dividing us and trying to destroy us. We don't need that anymore, and we need to stand together. When they broke the unions in the 80s, that's when your wages started going down. That's when you only worked 30 hours a week. You started losing your benefits. Right now, there's people working 3-4 jobs just to get 40 hours a week, and they still don't have health insurance because they can't afford it, and they don't have any benefits. They don't have any vacations. I mean, who's got all this? The ones at top. There was a lady right now that laid off 15,000 workers at General Motors to give herself a $23 million bonus. Now is that horrible and just greedy? 15,000 workers that had families to support were laid off so that she can get her $23 million bonus. And that's happening time and time again, and it's greed. I work for a company, I'm not going to name names, in Fargo. When I got hired, I was supposed to get a raise every 3 months. I worked there 2 years, never got a raise once. Every time I'd ask, they said, well, the owner of the company, the CEO, he had to buy a new jet. I go, what was that for? Well, he wanted to go to the NBA playoffs. He wanted to go to the Super Bowl and World Series, and he really needed that jet to get where he had to go, and that jet cost him about $15 million to keep his staff up and everything, So, your little measly wage, I guess, is insignificant compared to him getting his jet and everything, and his bonus, his $50 million a year bonuses. I'm going to tell you that you people out there that are getting all these bonuses and all these CEOs, and if you're not giving back to your churches and you're not contributing to your society or your country, you may be getting arrested for treason. Trump wants to arrest all these people that go against him for treason. Well, these people that are stealing from the rest of us Americans, the other 95% of us that are living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, they're going to rise up one day and they're going to take all these bonuses and everything back, and everything that's been taken away from them. And there'll be a day of reckoning in this country. And I hope those that are listening out there, you greedy, rich CEOs, had better start donating to your communities, donating to your churches, donating to your schools, helping get the homeless off the streets. Because the homeless, you get enough homeless on the streets, they'll start a little small army, and that's what they do in some communities. And then the crime rate goes up. And guess who they go rob? They go rob the wealthy. That's why sometimes you have all these sanctuary cities for the rich. Well, you have these communities where they're basically isolated communities with fences and guards to guard the elite and the rich. because they have to hide, because they've ripped off so many people. Like Bernie Madoff, man, did he make off? Look where it led him, in prison. But and every 5-10 years there's a big Ponzi scheme or a big corrupt Bernie Madoff, Kinley, Enron. There's going to be the next great scandal and the next great destroyer of America, and all these elderly people are going to lose all their retirements, and it's going to happen time and time again until someone starts enforcing the law and doing their frickin' job. And then you're going to have people that are going to be protected. You're going to have elderly people that worked their whole lives that are going to be able to keep their money that they worked for, and they've invested in America, and it'll stay in America. Well, I'd like to thank you once again for joining me, and please help me. If you believe in my cause, and if you believe in the United States Constitution and believe that it needs to be protected and defended, you will donate to Michael J. Steele. If you help me, I'm going to help you. And I give you my word of honor as a gentleman and a man of respect and a man of honor in North Dakota that I will do my best to defend the Constitution of North Dakota, and I will do the best I can to defend the Constitution of America. What little is left of the North Dakota Constitution, that's something that needs to be repaired and fixed, because a lot of the Constitution here in North Dakota has been destroyed by lawyers. If they don't like a law, they throw it out. Or if it hurts business, they get rid of it, they throw it out. If it hurts this group or this government agency, they just throw it out. There is no law here. So they pretty much kind of write the rules up as they go, and they change it as they go, But we got to get a Constitution here in North Dakota and stick to it and make it solid, where everybody has to obey that Constitution and follow that Constitution like we do with our American Constitution. So I got a lot to say and a lot to do, but I do need your support. I'm like the guy on PBS. If you enjoy my programming and what I'm all about, the programming, I've had my brain here in North Dakota in the last 41 months, being a product and a native son of North Dakota that knows what's going on here. You will hire me as your next senator, and then we'll talk again soon. And I can't give you everything all at once. I still have an election to win, but I got to save some of the good stuff about the incumbent John Hoeven that I'll share with you later, and some of our other fine Republican brothers and sisters out there whose votes I also need. So, well, thank you, my Democratic brothers and sisters, for everything you've done for me, and I thank you for all your generous support, and have a great day, and we'll see you July 17th at 3 to 5 o'clock. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.